People know me now as the communication guy when you're put on the spot.
3, 2, 1! $10,000 for our first place winner.
What's up? I'm a keynote speaker, MC, and entertainer, traveling the world and taking you with me. Today, I'm going to the great state of Missouri. I'm currently in Columbus, Ohio, but I have a couple workshops in Missouri, and I'm doing a big MC job in Missouri too. Really exciting. It's probably one of the most infamous startup weekends in the whole world. I just got off the plane, and you know how sometimes they make your bag go underneath the plane? Well, they did that with every person, and it was wild. Check this out. The whole bag's just super wet. It was sitting out there, and everyone was really stressed, but I got out, and my gate for my next connection was literally right next to where I got out. So I was not stressed at all. I still got like 2 hours to hang out. What's great about that is that I can spend this time and really practice and rehearse for all these talks coming up in Missouri. So this is really just a time to keep working and keep developing all these talks. We're on the road, so the work has to happen on the road. Okay, I just landed, I got to the hotel. Now it's been about 8 hours of travel, and tomorrow I have a workshop on confident communication and really feeling comfortable when you're put on the spot. And it's all 4 trainers, so I'm feeling great about that. And then Friday, I have Emceeing, Saturday Emceeing, and Sunday Emceeing. Then Monday, back to Columbus. Now, it's time to go to sleep. What's up? It's workshop day. My workshop is in about 3 hours. So I have to get there an hour early, which means I have 2 hours to do my warm-up, which is a full body and vocal warm-up. Go through the entire content, probably at least 2 times. All right, let's see it. So I have a full body warm-up that I do, and it takes between 2 minutes to roughly 30 minutes, depending on how deep I want to go. If you want to see more on that, let me know in the comments and I can make a full video on how I warm up. So I have my tea and my water, and you need both. And now it's time to really get started and go through all of our content today. Here's a crazy thing I've noticed. The caffeine is certainly hitting. And here's the thing that I'm noticing. The cheaper the tea bags are, the harder the caffeine hits. Has anyone else felt this? If you felt that, just put that in the comments. Because I don't know why this is happening, but when I have the cheapest tea available, like 30 minutes later, boom, hits me. And when I get the more expensive bougie caffeine and tea, and it's like, it takes like a while and there's not really a hit. I don't know if I like the hit, but there's no hit. All right, I just got done with that workshop. It was incredible. This group was so fun. Honestly, oftentimes at a lot of corporate workshops, you know, they're fun, but they're like very controlled fun. They work in a corporate job, so it makes sense. This group, pure fun. This was pure fun. Everyone was just so electric. They gave me such a nice speaker bag. I have a cookie. This is leftover from lunch, to be honest. But look at this, I got a water bottle. I needed a new water bottle, and now I've got it. I've got very fancy looking pens, a notepad, and I think a sweatshirt. Look, Veterans United sweatshirt. They give me a card, and I guess this is a very well-known place. Now I've got to rest up because tomorrow I have an event that has 100, 150 people, and they're all going to be there to start companies, and I have to really bring the energy. Almost similar to a musician or an athlete, I am judged on game time. You know, I'm judged when I'm in front of the audience. I'm not judged by the little things that happen otherwise, at least not as much. So that means that I really have to do whatever I need to do to be amazing on the moment. All of the work that I do is for like a couple hundred hours of stage time each year. So you really have to put in the work, and that starts with a lot of active recovery and recovery in general. I just got done resting, basically taking a nap for a while. Now I have to prepare for the event tomorrow. Tomorrow I have that Emceeing job, and what's really important is that we nail the opening and closing, and that we have energy to sustain the entire weekend. So I'm going to continue my preparation by going through the entire presentation tonight, and then I'm gonna get some good rest. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, now it's Emceeing day. I've got a bunch of stuff planned this morning. I've got to prepare the opening and closing of MC Day, and I go through all of the material. And then someone booked a coaching session with me to help learn how to become a professional speaker and how to really engage the audience. So I have an hour-long call for that in the morning as well. And then we're gonna have this event, and it's gonna be amazing. This is the same startup weekend that Zapier was founded at, and Equipment Share, both multi-billion-dollar companies. And we're actually in Equipment Share's office. They now have over 6,000 employees. And the head of Zapier and Equipment Share, they're all judging Startup Weekend. So it's an exciting time. This is maybe one of the most infamous startup weekends in the world. And I'm excited to be able to MC it. Let's get going. Now we're here at Equipment Share headquarters for the 13th annual Missouri Startup Weekend. I've got my all access MC pass. We're getting everything set up for about 200 people to be in here. It's gonna be a wild event, 3 days, working pretty much non-stop. And it's gonna be wild. I love the excitement right before the event starts. AV team, our sponsors getting everything set up, all their tables around the building. And now it's time to get started.
3, 2, 1.
All right, now they are voting on their ideas. They just had a bunch of pitches, and now it's time for them to vote on which 11 startups are going to be worked on this weekend. All right, we've now formed our 11 teams, and now it's really time for them to start working. We have a workshop going on right back here, and that's on how to build an MVP, something that looks like, acts like, or otherwise functions like their product.
$10,000 for our first place winner at the 13th annual Missouri Startup Weekend. We have Focus.
And that was it. We did the 13th annual Missouri Startup Weekend 2025. It was really an incredible experience. I mean, this is an infamous startup weekend. It's an infamous event. And this was something I've been wanting to do. It's been on the bucket list for a long time. And so being able to be here, connect with like maybe 150 different people and be with them the entire weekend as they build their companies, it's really something special. It's nice, like, you know, after the event, people coming up and they're like just talking about their experience with you as the MC, and it's nice when people tell you how you make them feel. So there's just something about that that's really nice. It's time to go back home to Columbus and have some fun. Back being home. One of the really cool parts about doing these events is that throughout the event and afterwards especially, people keep coming up and they're like, "You're the most confident person I've ever met. You are so charismatic." And like, I get that it's weird for me to relay that. I say that because I think that it's really a set of behaviors that I do that other people read as incredibly confident and charismatic. But I think those behaviors are like the things that I teach in the keynotes and workshops, because people know me now as like the communication guy when you're put on the spot, you know, and the things I teach are the behaviors to be more confident in your communication skills, like putting all the focus on the speaker. So doing active listening as much as we possibly can, not in a like creepy, weird way. It's much harder to be so self-conscious when we're just paying so much attention to the person we're talking to. And that's step one. Step two is using this yes and principle from improv comedy to just always find a path forward. So first we're focusing on the person that we're talking to, and then second, we're trying to find a path forward, putting all of our focus on what is the task at hand, how can we move that forward. Sure, maybe mistakes were made, maybe somebody messed up. But right now, we have to deal with this because we're live, we're in the moment. We gotta figure it out. And then, finally, it is that we have to practice these skills, because the worst time to start developing our confidence, becoming better as communicators, is in the moment when we think, man, I really need to be confident, I really need to have great communication skills. We need to develop those skills before we need them. Similar to how an athlete, they're not gonna learn how to throw a 90-yard pass, if that's a thing that they can do. They're not gonna learn to do that like in the game. They're gonna try to learn to do that in practices, keep practicing that skill, and then in the game, they'll be able to do it. So I think we need to treat communication the same way. Use exercises, try to practice each day, wake ourselves up and warm up our voice and our bodies to get ready to communicate with each other so that we're just more confident day to day. And we're back in Columbus. So I've got a couple days here, then I go to Atlanta, and then I'm straight off to Bahrain. So you can subscribe and stay up to date. Also just waiting for my ride here, but don't they know they can't park here?